I was on night watch and on the flare ship. And we started getting mortared. I was running down the company street. Piece of RPG hit me in my right arm. And then I had my helmet and my flight helmet and my M60 in it. And I was running in my aircraft. And it hit and it blew me sideways. And I get up and I got a piece of RPG in my arm. I doubt if you can see it, but can you see the scars on my arm there? Yeah. Well, it got me right there. I'm sure you can see the scars right there. Well, I just yanked it out. And when I did, the blade just started running everywhere, driven off my fingers. And I run out to the aircraft and I just grabbed one of the rags that I had in the aircraft, wrapped my arm up real good with it, pulled my flight suit back down over it, threw some tape on it, held it together, and pulled my flight suit back on it, grabbed my 60, and away we go. Hit the battery switch. My door gunner had already unhooked the rotor blades. Hit the battery switch. The pilots got there. We jumped the aircraft, go on the mission. We get back to base. So get back in, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I just go into my hooch and pull out my med kit. And I had 2-pound test fishing line and a straight needle. And all I had for antiseptic was whiskey. So, a little bit of whiskey in the wound, 2 holes, tie a knot, pee your pants. Take a shot of whiskey for you, a little more whiskey for the wound. Another 2 holes, another knot. Tie it with your teeth, A little more whiskey on it, a little more whiskey for me. By the time I got through with 22 holes, 11 knots, uh, and probably 12 shots of whiskey, my arm was done and so was I. My door gunner come in the next morning to wake me up, wondering why I wasn't at the aircraft. Because I didn't tell nobody about nothing. That's how bad it was and how tired and how out of it I was. So I showed him my arm. And he goes, "Holy shit, what happened?" Excuse my French, but he goes, "Well, I told him," and he said, "Well, why didn't you say anything?" I said, "There's no reason to, man. You know, it's just what you got to do. I didn't have time for anything. We had to do what we had to do, man. Or the gunnies couldn't see what they had to take out." So I go, "But I got her done, man." And he got kind of nauseous a little bit, but when I showed it to him, but it was all good. There's been other times when we had wound or aircrafts hit the rounds hit the aircraft, and pieces of the shreds of the metal I've seen. Some even still have some of the shrapnel in me that they've X-rayed. Is still in me, but there's no point in removing it. You know, it'd be more invasive than the damage it's causing. So that's a big part of it. But I I'm so beat up, concussion forces here and there, and everything that I went through. It's just every day is a different day of pain, and you never know which one you're gonna get. Kind of like my personality, from being over there. I told you, Carrie, that I had to be facetious sometimes, and after this conversation, I gotta be, and so I have what I call a multoid personality, and you never know which one of me you're gonna get. Sometimes it's like, wow, man, this is gonna be a real slow day, man, because I don't know what I can do. I don't think I'm gonna do nothing, man. I'll just sit down and watch TV, you know. Or it could be, man, all of a sudden this guy pops up and, "Hey, man, come on, what are you doing? Sitting on the couch, man, get your butt up and let's go downtown and do something, man. Do something productive, even if it's wrong." So it's so, I used to be a stand-up comedian too, but now I'm a sit-down comedian because I got old. But I got to try and be that, brother, because it's hard to watch an old man cry is how I'm going to end this. And I do a lot of that on occasion because my emotions are trash, just like my body. But every day I wake up is another day of extended play on the pinball game of life. I got to play to win so I can wake up again and maybe be lucky enough to do something that the people I left behind might have, would have, or could have done. And that's how I live. And I got a wonderful wife that's my brain. She keeps track of everything that I have to do on this medical train that I'm on. And I'm 76 and still chewing down the track. So that's that.